Basilica Cistern, a Byzantine marvel by Serra Ancin. What will I go over today? I will go over why I chose this topic, what it is, what are other names for the cistern and why, the timeline of it, some drawings of it depicted throughout the years, the special pieces that were built there, and the theories about what the meanings of these pieces could be. And we will also be fast forwarding to modern day and seeing how it is being used and how it looks. So, why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because I saw the Basilica Cistern 10 years ago when I visited Istanbul. I still remember this remarkable experience. I wanted to research the reasoning for building such an architecture and also how it had been built. So, what is the Basilica Cistern? This structure is an engineering marvel that was used to store large amounts of water. It was built around 532 CE in Constantinople, which was the capital of the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire started around 395 CE after the split of the Roman Empire and lasted until 1453. The Basilica Cistern was constructed under the Basilica Stoa. Here's an illustration right here, and this is why the name is called Basilica Cistern. This cistern is one of the largest and most well-known in the world. The cistern measured approximately 453 feet by 212 feet and with the potential to hold 80,000 cubic meters of water. The cistern treads its raised platforms to view 336 marble columns arranged in 12 rows of 18 columns, which were engraved together with vaulted ceilings. The columns have been brought from different ancient cities which had been destroyed, as they are different from each other. Each column was roughly 30 feet high and 16 feet apart. As you can see here, some of the columns are smooth and some of the columns are very detailed. So what are other names for the Basilica Cistern? In Turkish, the cistern is called Yerebatan Sarayı, which means sunken palace. This name was given by the public because this cistern has numerous marble columns rising from the water. Now we will be talking about the timeline of the Basilica Cistern. When the city of Constantinople was built by Emperor Constantine, who's on the left, and his successor, Emperor Justinian, on the right, Justinian the first role was that he looked after the city. And what happened was that the city faced serious water shortages during their summers. So all the cisterns were built as water storage tanks to supply the Grand Palace and city residents. Also in case of a siege. Fast forwarding the timeline, the cistern was abandoned when the Byzantine emperors relocated and the Ottoman Empire took over. As you can see here, there's a map of the expansion of the Ottoman Empire. A French scholar who was researching Byzantine antiquities rediscovered it in 1545. However, after it was rediscovered, the Ottoman rulers didn't renovate it, and it started being used as a dumping site for corpses and all sorts of junk from the city. Moving on to a more modern approach, in 1987, the Istanbul Metropolitan Authority cleaned and renovated the cistern for 2 years from 1985 to 1987. And then in 1987, it was open to the public, and now it is open too. The cistern has become one of the most popular tourist attractions in Istanbul. Tourists that walk along its raised wooden platforms feel water dripping from the vaulted ceiling and see schools of ghostly carp fish patrolling the water, which gives a mysterious ambience. Here are some photos and drawings of how it is depicted during history. Here we have a drawing by Cosimo Comidas in 1794. We have one by W.H. Bartlett in 1838. As you see, a man is rowing down. And there are many different cultures that were mixed in the Byzantine Empire, like Greek, Roman, Christian, Latin, Coptic, Armenian, and Persian. So Constantinople is a very diverse city, and that is also why you see Medusa heads in the cistern. And as you can see here, that's a part of Greek and Roman culture. And there's the theory that the Medusa heads were obtained from the remains of ancient structures used to build the cistern. Something it's from a building called Forum of Constantine, and were added as an architectural ornament to the structure since similar sculptures have been found. Some people think this is for preventing bad omens, much like the modern-day evil eye, and others think it points to the early Christian practice of putting pagan statues upside down to make a bold statement about their faith. As you can see here, the Medusa heads are very beautifully detailed. Another interesting part of the Basilica Cistern is that there is something called the Cistern Crying Column. It is said to be a tribute to the many slaves who died here during the construction of the cistern. Moving on to the modern look and the modern day Basilica Cistern. Here we have just 4 pieces from the recent art exhibition there. It has just reopened after having a 5-year renovation from 2017 to 2022. And here we have the jellyfish on the upper right-hand corner by Ali Bayolju. And then on the upper left-hand corner, we have the moving backwards like a hedgehog by Aslı İrhan. And then on the bottom left, we have In the Chaos Environment by Aslı İrhan, again. And then on the bottom right, we have a projected image by Jennifer Scanpeck, and it's called Mars'a Uçuş, which just means like flight to Mars. And here is a mosaic I did of the Medusa heads. As you can see here, it's the Medusa heads in several different ways. And I just wrote about the 2 Medusa heads. As you can see here, it has one going sideways and one going up and down. Here is a map of how many cisterns there are in Istanbul currently. And only 2 are open to the public. So that's why you aren't able to visit the other ones, but it's still really cool to look at. In conclusion, if you ever visit Istanbul, you should definitely see the Basilica Cistern, and I promise you, it will be an unforgettable experience.